Welcome to my YouTube. A little nervous, but excited to tell you a little bit about me. I have 7 questions for you guys to know a little bit more about me. The first question is, what inspired you to become a lash artist and how your journey began in the beauty industry? So this one's a little bit tricky because I like to say that I wanted to become a lash artist, but that didn't come in the first place. When I was little, I've always wanted to be in the beauty industry. I mean, not exactly did I know what I wanted to do, but I liked hair, I liked nails, I liked makeup. And then as it evolved and as I tried to be in the beauty industry with my family, I noticed that makeup was the one I liked the best. Hair was just a little too much for me, and nails just seemed like something I'd only like to do on myself. So when it came to choosing, I liked makeup, but life spun around and I had job after another job. I had very random jobs. And then at the end of the day, I ended up getting fired from one of them, which seemed to be a job that it was very promising to me. Everything happens for a reason. So I decided that I was just going to pursue my dreams to go into the beauty industry. I ended up going in and becoming a Uber driver while I went ahead and tried to find a job that was related to it. I ended up having to apply to different beauty supplies, different beauty salons, and retail stores that involved makeup because I thought that was the way. I decided that the salon job was best for me. They actually did lash extensions there, but they also were very makeup forward. They had a makeup academy, but it seemed right. I became a front desk and I would do makeup on the side for the weekends because I was where it was needed the most. But lashes was needed a lot, and I was gonna go to school to become an esthetician. I learned before, mainly because it was something that we really needed it, and I was like, why not? It's part of my scope of practice. But it was so hard, my journey as a lash artist. I ended up liking taking clients for lashes more than for makeup because my clients for makeup I would see the most twice a year for events. I never built that client connection that I wanted to have versus clients that I would see every 2 to 3 weeks for lashes. I ended up falling in love with the idea, the industry, the way things were done. Also, making money from it was really good. I was like, oh, actually, this makes me more money than what I thought it would. That's how I stepped my foot into the beauty industry. What do you think sets you teaching approach apart from others in the industry? That one's a good question, actually. I always learned from other people that I actually liked. Wispy sets were such a thing that I tried so hard to understand and I wouldn't understand. So then I had this girl that actually was local and I was like, you know what? She seems to have it down. And I went to her. So I sets me apart the most is the fact that if you see me and you like me, this is who you get and this is where we move forward to. I'll be your mentor. I think it's important that you actually like this person. That will eventually be the only person that you'll know in the industry for a little while, and that would help you out with everything that you need when you're starting. It says, what is one common misconception about being a lash artist that you want to clear up for aspiring professionals? So one of the things is that you'll make money as soon as you take your lash training, and it's like, no. A lot of people want to tell you, take this lash training because this is a multi-billion-dollar industry and you'll be able to be part of it too. And I hate when people do that. I understand that, yes, it's a business that you can make money from, but no, it's not something that you'll make money right away. You have to put so much time, so much effort into this. But if you aspire to be a successful lash artist, make sure that you have the mindset that this is something you have to work for. It's not something that comes really easily. So if you're an aspiring professional, make sure that you really, 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 really know that you have to work hard to get to those places where you want to be. What challenges did you face when you started out in the industry and how did you overcome it? One of my biggest challenges was that I could not for the life of me. I wasn't able to actually make them look pretty, have them look nice. Not every client needed what I was putting out there. So at least where I used to work, we only had 0.20s and 0.07s, and that's the only thing we had available. We had D curl and maybe C curl, I feel. Eventually we got to CCs and stuff, but for the most part we didn't have all these resources available for me to be like, oh, I got this really fast, you know? And the way I overcome it was taking model after model after model. I would beg people to be my models because I would take 5 whooping hours at the first time. And then eventually it went down to 3 and then 2. And now it takes me an hour and a half to do a full set of lashes. That is if it's just, let's say, nothing special like a normal uniform, volume, hybrid, or classic. But when it comes to a more detailed set, it does take me 2 hours, and that's what it is. But the way I overcome it was practice. Practice makes everything perfect, and it's true. How do you balance running your own lash business with being an educator and supporting other lash artists? The way I balance this is I use all my tools available to me. My website, my students can actually schedule a class. My clients can schedule and book as many appointments as they want over the booking system. They can do it overnight. They can do it during the day. They could do it at whatever time they want. And that helps me a lot. I don't have to have them wait till the end of the day. The only people that I wish I had an immediate response for was my students when they need support, but I just try to go over the questions that they have and answer them as soon as possible. Sometimes their questions are this very similar questions. They'll have that video and I'll just send them the video so that way it's a little bit easier on me and then it's well through explained. But those are my tools. And then when it comes to supporting other lash artists, I literally just join as much community support as I can. Facebook is a big one of them where I could just go and comment and be like, hey, this is what I do. This is my input if you need advice. Another thing is that eventually I'll volunteer for more, but I do like to volunteer for LashCon. That's one of my favorite things to do because I get to know more lash artists that eventually can help. Last year, I met so many girls that needed help and that were like, ooh, this is great because I'm learning so much more and that I did in my trainings or whatever. And I like to help that way. And if I see somebody in the community struggling or I see somebody looking a little bit off, I do message them and I let them know they don't have to tell me what they're going through, but I'm here to listen because sometimes for people when they're going through stuff, it's easier for them to have a stranger listening to them versus a person that they know. Everybody has a little bit of fear of judgment. So that's how I like to support lash artists. But I do juggle it all pretty good by using all of the tools that I have available to me. When it comes to my students, and my website is very transparent. I have prices, what they'll get in their kit, what I'm offering, what our theory is going to look like, what we're going to talk about. And they already know everything. By the time I get on that call with them, it's really just to schedule. And my last student actually just scheduled online. We just had a little bit of a chat on for some questions and payment and stuff, but it was very quickly. And I like to make sure that that is available. Next question is, what advice would you give to lash artists who are trying to grow their clientele or break into the lash industry today? My main thing is take a lash training with a person that you make sure you do your research as far as what they'll offer. Are they going to offer ongoing support for you because you will need it? Are they going to teach you all of the new stuff that's out there? Are they going to teach you glue science? Are they going to teach you retention? Are they going to teach you client retention? Are they going to teach you how to promote yourself? All of those things are things that you need in order to succeed. So make sure you do your research, take a good lash course, make sure you like the instructor. That's step 1 for getting into the lash industry. Step 2 for me would be take as many models as you can and practice over and over and over because that is what will give you the most perfect sets and the most beautiful sets. Next would be getting licensed by the state, whatever state you're in. Some states actually have licenses for lash artists. So if your state offers that, then do a 2-in-1. My state currently doesn't offer that. I'm in California. We have esthetician license. And if you want to become a lash artist, that's a separate certification. I personally did it backwards. The reason why I recommend that you take a lash course first is because I want you to see if lashes are for you. If lashes is something that you will commit to, because getting licensed by your state is so much more expensive. So if you go and you take a lash course and you're like, oh, this is not for me, then why spending the money on a license if you're not really going to do that? But if you want to be successful, take that first, take as many models as you can, and then eventually go to get licensed by your state. After that, get a place to work, whether you're getting to work at a salon or you want to build a suite, then find a place to work and then go into Google and make a Google account and make a Google business. So that way people can see who you are. Make an Instagram account so you can have it as a portfolio. Website is not 100% needed at the beginning, but it's something that you should look into. I personally use GoDaddy. This is one of the topics that I would talk about later on. But those are the first few steps if you're trying to break into the lash industry. Now, when it comes to building clientele, put yourself out there. When you make your Instagram, make sure you put a post about you, pin it to your profile so people know who you are and it's not just a whole Instagram full of eyeballs. Word of mouth is a very good way. Get your models to talk about your lashes and offer them an incentive, whether it's a percentage off for later, whether you're like, hey, if you get me a girl to get a new set with me for my full price, then I'll give you 2 touch-ups for free or half off each the next 5 touch-ups. I don't know, something like that, where it's an incentive for them to actually want to talk to you. It's almost like, talk about you, almost like a commission. Make sure there's an incentive for people to refer to you and have a good referral program. And other than that, I think you're on the good track to start in building clientele. It does take time, but it's not impossible. And then my last question is, what is your ultimate vision for the lash industry, especially for the Spanish-speaking community in the US? I just feel like as Latinas, and in my case I'm Mexican, I feel like we don't have a lot of resources. We are so ingrained in our brains by our culture. It's so ingrained in our brains by our culture that we are supposed to be a wife, stay home, maybe work part-time just to help our husbands out, and then eventually that's it. Having a business is not a priority. I do feel like that's somewhere where we need support, not only in how to build a business and how to make it, but the fact that we can have one. So there's that. I hope you guys enjoy this about me and hope to see you soon.